Today, we explore Charles Spurgeon's sermon, Spiritual Liberty, delivered in 1855 at Exeter Hall. This sermon takes as its foundation 2 Corinthians 3, verse 17, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. Spurgeon begins by reminding us that liberty is the birthright of every human being. We may be born into poverty or wealth, but by nature, God has fashioned us for freedom. Yet he explains that true liberty is not political or social liberty. It is spiritual liberty, the kind that only the Spirit of God can give. He points out that even in free nations, men can still be enslaved in their souls. The freedom that Spurgeon speaks of is infinitely higher than civil liberty. It is a freedom that comes when the Spirit of the Lord dwells in us, freeing us from the chains of sin, guilt, and fear. The first aspect of this liberty is freedom from the bondage of sin. Without Christ, we are slaves of lust, fear, and corruption. Spurgeon describes a convicted sinner who lives in torment, unable to escape the weight of guilt. But when the Spirit of the Lord enters, chains fall away. The soul can rejoice, declaring, "There is no sin upon my conscience now, for Christ has washed me clean." Next, Spurgeon speaks of liberty from the penalty of sin. Eternal death and torment no longer hold sway over those who are in Christ. Jesus bore the penalty once and for all. The believer can stand confident that God's justice has been satisfied at the cross. There is no condemnation left for the child of God, only forgiveness and acceptance. Thirdly, there is liberty from the guilt of sin. The Christian is no longer branded guilty before God. When Christ's righteousness is imputed to us, we are seen as spotless, pure, and free. Spurgeon emphasizes that this truth, though startling, must be embraced with joy. The believer can say with confidence, "I stand before God as justified, for Christ has taken my place." Fourthly, the Spirit brings liberty from the dominion of sin. Before conversion, men are slaves to their passions. They may call it free living, but it is only bondage. The Spirit empowers the believer to break free, to no longer be under sin's tyranny. Holiness, far from being slavery, becomes the Christian's delight. The greatest happiness of a believer is not in lawless living, but in walking with God. Spurgeon then highlights liberty from the slavish fear of the law. Many people obey only because of fear of punishment, fear of judgment. But where the Spirit of the Lord is, obedience flows from love, not fear. It is love that bends the knees in prayer, love that gives generously, love that delights in holiness. This is not slavery, but joyful freedom. Finally, Spurgeon proclaims liberty from a fear of death. To the unbeliever, death is a dreaded terror. But to the Christian, death has lost its sting. For the believer, death is but a narrow passage, a doorway into eternal glory. Spurgeon reminds us of saints who face death with calm joy, knowing that sudden death only means sudden glory. To conclude, Spurgeon insists that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty, freedom from sin's bondage, penalty, guilt, power, and fear. But more than that, there is freedom to enter into God's promises, to enjoy His grace, to walk in holiness, and to anticipate heaven itself. This liberty is not a license to sin, but the glorious inheritance of every true believer. The call is clear. Seek this liberty in Christ. For only in Him do we find true freedom, a freedom that no earthly chains, no guilt, and not even death itself can take away. Thank you for joining us, and please like the video, subscribe, and share. God bless you all, and I hope to see you again.